If a stranger in a coffee shop asked you, "When has God shown up in your life?" you might find the question a little odd. But if you paused, chances are you'd have a story to tell. At St. Mark's, we believe God is at work everywhere, and everyone has a God encounter story. Inspired by StoryCorps, this Lent we're introducing GodCorps, an opportunity to record a short interview and share an experience of God at work in your life. We'd love to hear your story.
I'm here with Steve Parker, and I have to give a little background as to how we discovered this story, because Steve and I were having breakfast, and he told me this story, and I just say, "Oh, you've got to share this with more people than me." And so Steve agreed to do that. So Steve, what's the context? I mean, the big question is, have we noticed God in our lives in any particular time? And I thought yours was a good example.
Yeah. This was about November of 2015. And maybe early December. Christmas decorations are out. And I was in a very dark place. I'd been out of work for about a year and a half, looking for work. That's stressful. Financial considerations, of course. But our son, that January of 2015, had just been put on the heart transplant list. Now, he was an adult. He lived with us. He'd had many medical issues since early childhood. So that was obviously another big stress. So I was in a very dark place. I remember it felt like a cloud just hanging over me, a dark cloud. We had moved to St. Charles maybe 11 months earlier, so still kind of getting settled in some ways. And because I was out of work, I was doing, kind of fixing things up and repairing things, that kind of thing. So I went to Menards to pick up some things. And of course it was Christmas, and they've got all the decorations out. They've got the lights and the fake Christmas trees and the blow-up Santas, and they've got these animated plastic figures of elves and reindeer that, as you walk by them, they'll start to move and say silly things. I've often found those creatures a little bit creepy.
Me too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
What are they doing behind your back?
Yeah, it's more of a Halloween thing than a Christmas thing,
right,
but
yeah,
even so, it is creepy.
Exactly. So anyway, going through the aisles of Menards, got what I wanted, this dark cloud hanging over me. And as I'm walking back to the cash registers, I'm walking back through the Christmas holiday section, and I notice, kind of half notice, ahead of me on the left on a shelf is a plastic reindeer head on a plaque like a hunting trophy.
Okay.
And I just
even more creepy.
I just kind of half noticed it. I'm focused on my troubles. And as I walk by, the nose of this reindeer lights up, its jaw starts to move, and it says as clear as day in this cartoonish voice, "So why are you worried about everything? Christmas is coming." And that was it. That was the message I needed to hear. It was, because it was so bizarre, so funny. It was like, and I knew instantly what I was being told. I immediately saw how crazy it was, but yet it was exactly what I needed to hear. It was almost like getting slapped upside the head and saying, "Come on, shape up. You you claim to believe in a God that takes care of everything. So why are you in this place? And it caused me to understand that those things are choices.
What did you do? Did you laugh?
I just kept walking, but my mind was like going 100 miles an hour.
So you were processing it
But I knew instantly what I was being told. And again, the bizarreness of it, the humor in it, I think was, there's in the 60s and 70s, there was that saying, the medium is the message. And it definitely was. The strangeness of it was just, it just hit me at that moment I needed to stop that, that thought pattern and that, that way of thinking. So, yeah, very bizarre, very strange. A plastic reindeer head
I have to
talking
ask,
to you off the shelf.
did you buy it?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. Well, what did you do afterward? And you obviously got in your car and went home.
Yeah. I don't remember if I told Jean Ann that story. I told her later. But it was just, and I don't really remember, but I do know that it was like that darkness lifted. And, none of the troubles were taken away. But it was like, okay, God said he would take care of us. He is able to do that. And so whatever we're going through, not to minimize the situation my son was in, but, he's in control of all those things. 3 weeks later, I had a job, which I've been at for 10 years since then. And it's been a good job.
Did you see that coming, the job?
Well, I had been interviewing and
Okay.
that kind of thing. So, but, after a year and a half of no work, and plenty of interviews where nothing happens,
Yeah.
you hear nothing, until, you see the contract in front of you, you don't believe anything. And two and a half years later, Mother's Day of 2018, Dylan got a heart. So
Wow.
that was, and God certainly saw us and him through all that up till that and since then. So, yeah.
Are there things that you, as you process this, and I'm sure you have, and as you've retold it, at least you told me, and now you're telling other people too. In the telling of it, do you see new insights, or are you reminded of anything about the nature of God or about God's faithfulness?
Well, I haven't realized anything new about it. It just comes back to my mind because it was such a definite experience, a visual image. It certainly comes back to me as a reminder. And even now, the fact that it came up and that I had the desire to talk about it, because there's still concerns with our son and so on. And, again, it's just a reminder to not let that darkness overwhelm you. And I realize, at least for me, it's a choice. People deal with all kinds of issues, mental and otherwise. So it's not a comment on anyone else. But for me, I think it's very much a choice whether or not to go to that place. And yeah.
As I recall in our conversation when we were at breakfast together, this memory of yours came up and you asked me, or at least I remember the topic coming up, does God have a sense of humor? Mm-hmm. And this was an illustration.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, has that... we don't often think of a sense of humor as one of the attributes of God.
Right,
So I found the question even funny.
Oh, I absolutely think so. And I think there's indication, well, I know that in the life to come, we will look back at this life and wonder why we got so worked up about things. In fact, just this morning in my Bible reading, and I follow, just a pattern. So it just came up by circumstance. It was in Luke 6, where the Beatitudes start. In Luke 6:21, blessed are you who weep now, for you shall laugh. And that even just this morning, that came to me, and that struck me.
Yeah. Great illustration, great scripture paraphrase too. Have you shared this with your son, Dylan? Does he hear the story?
I don't know if he has or not. He may hear it the first time.
Yeah, you could encourage him to tune in. Okay. I just wondered if it creates any...
I may have mentioned it to him. I don't remember.
If it creates any conversation that's meaningful with him.
Yeah. I mean, he's certainly been on his own journey, and to see him adapt to various serious issues has been an example. Has been an example to Jean Ann and I. As a parent, you often tell your kids, "I'm very proud of you." There came a point, at least for me, where I began to realize I'm not proud of him. I'm proud to be his father. It's an honor to be that because of the way he's responded to, his issues. So
that's a great statement. I appreciate you saying it.
Yeah, it was like my perspective just shifted on that.
Well, I'll have to remember at Christmas time at Menards.
Yes.
To look for.
Yeah. Don't walk by the. Don't walk by the plastic deer.
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
Or be prepared.
Thank you for listening to this episode of St. Mark's Episcopal Church, GodCore. If you would like to record one of these episodes and tell your story about how you've experienced God, please use the link in the notes to schedule your time. We look forward to hearing your story, and we hope that you continue to tune in to hear ours. Thank you, and God bless you.